China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops sticking.
Hey everyone, this is China Chicken. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to be doing a box score breakdown of the Buffalo Bills versus Houston Texans game, the Thursday night football game. Buffalo Bills ended up losing 7-4, they lost 23-19, and they fall to 7-4 on the season, and they are 2-3 away. Houston won. So they go to 6-5 and 4-2 at home. So very interesting game. The numbers here are going to be really interesting to look at. But yeah, the Bills just didn't play good enough on offense. Houston has the best defense in the league. And that was kind of the story of the game. So we'll go through it here. Buffalo Bills passing. We had Josh Allen. He went 24 for 34. That looks pretty good, around... I wish they showed me percents here, but it's around 60-something percent, maybe 70%. And he threw for 253 yards, 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and 8 sacks for 70 yards. So you can see his total yardage here, minus the sack yardage, is 183. That's kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, 8 sacks for 70 yards. That was the most sacks Josh Allen has taken in his whole career. And if you just look at his stats, you're like, wow, they got crushed this game. They only lost by 4 points, so that's kind of interesting to me. But yeah, not a great game for Josh Allen. Their offensive line didn't do him any favors. Their wide receivers really didn't get open, so they didn't do him any favors. It was just a tough game. I think Josh could have played better, but also a part of me feels like he could have played a lot worse with what was given to him from his offensive line and his wide receivers. So Houston's passing. Davis Mills, backup quarterback. He, played decent. He went 16 for 30, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 0 sacks. And just looking at the turnovers here, 2 interceptions and 8 sacks. Or it's not turnover, but 2 interceptions and 8 sacks for the Bills. 0-0 for Houston. Bills defense did not get any pressure on him. It was just rough. James Cook ran the ball 17 times for 116 yards and 1 touchdown, and his long was a 45-yard touchdown pretty early in the game. Josh Allen ran it 5 times for 20 yards, and Ty Johnson didn't do anything. Houston's rushing. Woody Marks, he had 16 carries for 74 yards and a 19-yard long. Nick Chubb, 6 for 16, and a couple other guys ran, but not much. Yeah, not much to say about the run game. James Cook had that long touchdown, but really didn't do a whole lot after that. Not his fault, really, because they were playing from they were trying to play catch-up most of the game, at least in the second half. Bills receiving, Khalil Shakir had 8 catches for 110 yards, along with 44 and 10 targets. So pretty good game for Shakir. He did have a crucial fumble, though, so I would say his game overall was good and bad, really. But he did have a couple good catches there, that hook and ladder at the end of the game. That other screen type play, I think it was, that I actually liked. He got a first down and I think that was the 44-yarder. He was able to shake a couple guys loose. He's pretty shifty. So I see what they want to do. They want to give him the ball, but if those screens aren't always good, because if they have it, he's going to get tackled. And if it's one-on-one, then yeah, he can make a move and make a miss, but... Anyways, other than him, receivers didn't do really anything. Ty Johnson, running back, 3 catches for 45 yards on 3 targets. Jackson Hawes, 2 catches for 26 yards on 2 targets. He's back up tight end. Gabe Davis, 1 catch for 22 yards, 2 targets. Josh Palmer, 2 for 21 on 4 targets. We need to see more from Palmer. It's horrible that he got hurt. He was out for 3 or 4 games, and he was starting to look good. I just noticed that about the Bills so much, is that these players, they start to look good, and then they get hurt. And then that just, ruins all their progression that they just had. So that's what pisses me off the most about the Bills, is their injuries, honestly. Dawson Knox, 3 for 17. James Cook, 3 for 13. And then not much after that. Elijah Moore, 1 for -3. That was like Shakir's stats from last week. He had negative yardage. Okay, Houston's receiving. Nico Collins. I was surprised in this. 3 catches for 55 yards, 3 targets. He did have the most yardage on his team, but I was surprised they only threw it to him 3 times. He caught all 3, but man, he's a guy that he should be getting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 catches a game, honestly. At least 6 a game. So they could have done better in that regard. But Christian Kirk, he came out of nowhere. I didn't even know they had Christian Kirk. He had 5 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown on 6 targets. He had a good game. Jaden Higgins, I think he's a rookie wide receiver. They have a couple of rookie wide receivers, which I'm jealous of. 4 catches for 38 yards and a touchdown. On 9 targets, though, so not great. But Dalton Schultz, 1 for 4. 1 catch for 8 yards on 4 targets. Kind of rough game for him. This is another rookie, Jalen Noel, 1 for 4 yards on 2 catches. So, interesting game there. I do like the way Houston's team is coming out. It's just their wide receiver, really. Their defense is the best in the league, and they got Nico Collins, who's in his prime right now, and a bunch of young receivers. Higgins and Noel. Schultz is, I think, kind of older, but he's good too. Christian Kirk is older, but he's a reliable target. So I do like how their team is coming out. It's just C.J. Stroud needs to play better and be on the field. He didn't even play this game. Shakir, like I said, lost a fumble, very crucial. He needs to do better. But hey, he's a new father. His wife had a baby this week, so I was hoping he would get a touchdown, honestly, just because of that reason. And then Houston, Jalen Reed recovered the fumble. I thought he was a Jalen Reed. That must be a different Jalen Reed. But there's one on the Packers. He's a wide receiver named Jalen Reed. Cole Bishop for a Bills defense. He's starting to look really good. Every game, I feel like he's playing better. Not really in the stats here. He had 6 tackles. But, he's starting to look a lot better, just the way he's playing. He put a nice hit in on Nico Collins on one of his catches. Jordan Poyer had 6 catches, a lot less than last game. He had 15 last game. Rousseau, 6. Let's see if on the Bills side, nothing's really going to stand out because they didn't have any turnovers or sacks. But they did have some tackles for loss. Bernard had 1, and he might be done for the season from what I saw. He was in a sling. He was in a lot of pain there. Matt Milano had tackle for loss, and actually interesting, Bernard got hurt from Matt Milano. Matt Milano hit his arm unintentionally with his helmet, I believe, and looked like he broke something. I don't know for sure. Larry Ogunjobi, tackle for loss, and then other than that, nothing. So, crazy game, no sacks, no interceptions. It's really the story of the game there. Jalen Reed for Houston, there he is, 12 tackles total, so good game for him. El Shahir, I noticed him on the field. He was good, 7 tackles. I love saying this guy's name. Don't know if I'm saying it right. Henry To'o. I love that. I don't know why. 7 tackles. He had 1 of the sacks. Okay. And then here's the 2 defensive ends. Danielle Hunter had 2 sacks. Will Anderson had 2.5 sacks. I am so jealous. Wish the Bills had these 2 guys or one of them. Kamari Lassiter, 2 tackles for loss. Look at this. Sheldon Rankins, tackle for loss. Tim Settle, the Bills had him a couple years ago, and he did nothing. And all of a sudden, he's like really good for Houston. What the fuck? 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss. Derek Barnett, sack. Mario Edwards, half of the sack with Anderson. Okay. So, hey, hats off to Houston's defense. I really am jealous of their defense. Okay, let's see. Casey Bullock had 2 interceptions. Jeez, their secondary is good too. I don't get it. Ray Davis had a kick return for touchdown, which helped the Bills stay in the game. That was an awesome kick return for touchdown. I've been talking about this a lot, but they really are starting to turn the kickoff into like a run play, and I love it. It's so cool. But yeah, it just makes sense. Put Ray Davis back there. We're not giving him the ball on offense with James Cook looking so good and Ty Johnson as their receiving /3 down /blocking back. put Ray Davis returning kicks, even because that's basically a run play now, the way they do it. So very interesting there. Khalil Shakir did the punt returns. He didn't do much. He really just, fair caught it most of the time. This was actually huge in the game, was the opening touchdown. James Cook had a touchdown, and Matt Prater missed an extra point, which made the Bills, they could have been down by 3 at the end of the game and kicked the field goal to go to overtime. So it's huge that he missed an extra point there. Bills could have had 20, and then, at the end of the game there, kicked the field goal. So just little things like that are really killing the Bills. You can't have those little mistakes on the road. And then Kaimi Fairbairn, perfect. Jeez. Another thing I wish the Bills had that they don't. Okay, let's go to team stats here. All right, Bills had 14 first downs. Houston's 15. So about the same there. First downs from penalties. Houston had 2. Third down efficiency, woof, for both teams. 5 for 16, that's 30%, not good. And then Houston was 2 for 12, which is like 20%. That's not good. Not less than, that's like 15%, I think. Fourth down efficiency, 3 for 5. Bills went for it 5 times on fourth down. Just the way that game went. And then Houston was 1 for 1. I can't even remember the last time the Bills went for 5 fourth downs. Maybe against Baltimore, the first game of the year, because they were behind all game. I don't know. Bills had more plays, more total yardage by quite a bit. Total drives the same. Yards per play were about the same. Interceptions to rushing. Bills won that. Red zone attempts. Here's another important thing. Bills were 0 for 2 in red zone. Woof. And then Texans were 2 for 4. That's also not very good, but hey, they won the game. Penalties ended up about the same. I did notice early in the game the Bills had a lot more penalties than Houston, but yeah, it turned out to be about the same. Turnovers 3-0. That's it too. Bills don't win when they lose the turnover battle. I think that's how it goes this year. They win the turnover battle, they're undefeated. They lose the turnover battle, they're completely defeated. 0 for whatever. So that's really the key with the Bills is don't turn the ball over. You're gonna win. That's the game. Defensive special teams touchdowns. Okay, Bills had one of those, and then possession. Bills won in game of possession. So it's really just comes down to turnovers and those sacks for that game, in my opinion. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about the game. Very frustrating game for me, but Bills fall to 7-4. Looks like the 1 seed is completely out of hand, and then same with the division. Bills are probably going to lose the division to the Patriots. So for now, it's just get in, get a wild card spot. Hopefully they can make a run from there. They'll have to play away though, and they don't have good away record. They're 2-3. So we'll see what happens. Not feeling too great about the Bills this year, but hey, we'll see. You never know. You got Josh Allen. They can always go on a run. And they do play great in December. So we'll see. Maybe they'll get hot in December going into January and make it to the Super Bowl. Who knows? But anyways, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, and go Bills.
Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops sticking.